Hello, YouTube land. I have not purchased any silver off of eBay in a while. It seems like ever since the price of silver went down, there isn't really anybody that wants to sell right now during our pandemic. I guess this is kind of what people are thinking of, why they want to have silver, just in case the entire economy crumbles over the next couple of months. We would have a precious metal in their silver, and people with actual silver are not selling right now. So I am still looking on eBay for silver. I'm not finding a whole lot, but I came across this auction and it made me stop and think. Let's take a look at what I am looking for in an auction, especially if I'm trying to hunt down silver that is at spot price. When I look at this auction right here, it's 3.7 ounces of silver, foreign and domestic, has a buy it now price of $53. Shipping is $3.95. And I want to see, is this something that is worth me just purchasing outright? Or if I could get it at that $40 starting bid and no one else were to outbid me, is it worth it for that? And just taking a look at what we have to go on right here. Now, in a moment, I'm going to take a look at some of the pictures that are in this auction and take a look at what we've got. But I am a math person by heart, and so I wanted to figure out is if we got 3.7 ounces of pure silver, and I paid 53 plus 395. You add these two numbers together, we've got 56.95. And so right now, as I'm recording this, I just looked up the spot price. Right now, it is $15.20. So the highs this year were 18, but it got down to in the 12s when they reached their lowest over the last month. But if you take 3.7 ounces and you multiply times 15.20 an ounce, you get 56.24. And so if this is pure silver, that might be a good price. Another way you can do the math is to take this total price of $56.95 and divide by 3.7. You could get how much silver would have to be per ounce to make this worth it. And I come up with $15.39 to break even. And so, but the caveat here is this has to be pure silver. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But when I go through this auction, first of all, this guy doesn't have hardly any feedback, so that doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad person, or he just might be new at this. But as I kind of scroll through the photos here, they're all, they pretty much all have the same look. And so that makes me wonder, is the person here just, well, I mean, they are new, so maybe they just don't know how to really show off what they have. Did they just take a bag of coins, lay it on the table, and then just take several pictures of the exact same thing? Or are they trying to hide something? Because there are a couple of coins on here that can't really see too well. So I have blown up this picture. I'll walk over to another screen, and I count 20 different coins in this picture. And I'm going to go through part of my thinking of whether or not I want to make a bid, if I want to buy it now, or if I don't think it's worth $56, if this is something I could make a $40 bid on. And so, thankfully, we have price guides, and if you can't afford a $40 price guide, there are websites like ucoin.net where you can look up some of these coins. And so, there's a lot of things on here I don't recognize just offhand. But we're going to start with the ones I do recognize. And for the first thing we're going to look at here is this US half dollar right here. And I'd say we're off to a good start. That is a Walking Liberty half dollar. It actually looks like it's in pretty good shape, but there is a light that's hitting off the bag and you can't really see all the details. But keep in mind here, we're trying to find some deals that are just based on the silver content. And so this coin is not 100% silver, it's 90% silver. And so something else to keep in mind is the less silver that's in any of these coins, the more the spot price has to be to make it all worth it. And so, but you can't really go wrong with this coin because it's 90% silver. And my guides tell me that that is total weight of 12.5 grams, but the silver content is 0.3618 ounce. I'm not able to memorize that. I just have charts that I remember that from. Then we're going to come down to, we have another $half right here, and this one is hidden pretty good. And so when we take a look at this one, I believe that is a Kennedy $half. I suppose it could be a Barber half because they have a very similar look to them, but I can't really tell the difference. But that's probably a Kennedy half. And with the Kennedy half, we do have from 1964, they were still 90% silver and would have just as much as the one over here. But there's also a chance, a better chance, that this was made after 1964, at which point it would be a 40% silver coin. And when you have a large coin in a lot like this that is 40% silver, that just means that the purity of everything else has to be even higher to make the whole deal worth it. So it's a desirable coin, but it's only got 0.1479 ounces of silver in it. So that's going to kind of bring the total purity down a little bit. Looking through some more, we've got a mercury dime. We're back into the 90% range of silver. It's a small coin, but it's got 0.0723 ounces of silver in that one. We come down to this one that we can kind of see half of it. Here we have a Roosevelt Dime, and assuming that's one that actually has silver in it, we're again looking at a 90% silver coin, same 2.5 grams total weight, and same 0.0723 ounces of coins. And so looking through the rest of this, I don't see anything else that's US. Maybe that one is, possibly that one is, but I don't think so. And so I'm going to work around to other things that I do recognize. And so we'll move up to this one right here, which is 25 ore. I recognize this one because I find them quite often, even in today's modern foreign coin bins, because they are still pretty small and they are only 60% silver. And so it's almost not worth it to some of these people to when it's got 60 cents of silver to hold it aside and try to sell it for the silver content. So that one is, and it's also about the size of a dime, but a little bit smaller. The next one I do recognize is this one right here, and I can see the date on it of 1934. I just happen to recognize it because these are also very common to find. I believe that is a Great Britain Sixpence from 1934. And the problem with this coin is after about sometime in the 20s or so, they stopped making them sterling and they became 50% silver. So this coin is smaller than a dime and it's only got 50% silver in it, and that makes it 0.0227 ounces worth of silver in this one right here. This coin I cannot recognize, but it looks fairly similar to a this one up here, just because I sort of recognize it, but I'm not quite sure. So far, we're not looking good. The more of these 60 and 50% silver coins we have, the better everything else has to be to kind of make up for it. Then we come to this coin right here, which the only reason I recognize this one is I made a video I posted about a week or two ago about the coins of the Victorian era from Britain, and I recognize this one from just on the back where it says 1 shilling. And so I go to my price guide, and the obverse of this coin, or I should say the reverse of this coin, was made from 1831 to 1887. And being a coin that old, even with it being in sort of poor shape, you can get kind of a premium for this coin. So this one you could probably take to a coin dealer and get more than spot price for it, perhaps, if you wanted to sell it. But this coin does go back to the days when British silver coins were sterling, meaning they were 92.5% silver. So looking around here for other coins that I happen to recognize, and I don't recognize anything else offhand. Now, this one's well worn. I could probably never figure it out. This one's well worn. I can't figure that one out. This one doesn't have enough showing. This one's too well worn. This one is fairly easy to read. That one, even though I don't recognize it offhand, and I see I can make out the word Foster Landed, and I don't know what that means, and so I did a search for it. I can also see a mint year of 1944 on this one. So I just did a Google search for coin Foster Landed, and I came across that this one is from Sweden. At first I thought I just assumed it would be Netherlands because it's got the land in it, but it really is Sweden. And I looked it up, and this is a 5-ore coin that was wartime. Now, wartime silver coins from America, they turned our 5-cent coin that was made out of nickel into 35% silver. But in Sweden, they did not use silver as their replacement metal. Instead, they made this coin out of iron. So this quite large coin does not have any silver in it. Nor does this one. Nor does this one. Those are all part of the same coin. And coming from finding that one, I was able to recognize this one right here is a 2-ore coin, also from Sweden. And then we come up to this one right here, which is a 1-ore coin from Sweden. And so now 5 of our largest coins on here don't have any silver content in them whatsoever. And I am highly suspicious that I wouldn't even pay $40 for this lot now, I don't think. But looking up this one, I just did a search for 20-cent 1919 coin, and that reminded me that this coin is made in Italy, and this one is also does not have any silver content in it. So that's now 6 of the 14 coins I can prove don't have silver. And that makes me wonder if this is a clad Kennedy half or if this is a post-1964 dime that doesn't have any silver content in it. And so since this seller doesn't have any feedback, I'm going to say I'm going to pass on this deal. And so coming back to the auction listing here, when it says 3.7 ounces of silver coins, that does not mean you're getting 3.7 ounces of silver. Even if all the coins in this lot were made out of silver, there is some non-silver in all of these coins. Unless you're buying a bullion coin, there is going to be non-silver in everything that is in a lot like this. And you're going to end up with, if it was all 90% silver, you'd get about 3.3 ounces of silver out of something like that. Or when you start mixing in the 60 and the 50% coins, then you're going to end up with closer to 2 ounces of silver, and then you're really not getting something worth it. But while I am on the topic, there is one coin here that I want to show you on this topic, and this is a silver Mexican peso. This is a coin that I see very often in lots like this, and usually when I see this coin, it makes me want to avoid the lot at all costs, because this is a silver coin. It's a very large coin, and it is, it looks like it's bigger than a $50. So you'd think, hey, that has a lot of value to it. This coin has 10% silver. And with 10% silver, that is really going to make the value of the entire lot not worth hardly anything. So unless they're thinking that this coin is going to be worth about $1 to the overall price, if I see one of these coins in their lot, then I am almost always going to pass on the lot, unless there's just something else in it that makes the whole thing worth it. But with a coin this large that's 10%, it's going to take a lot of nice coins and everything else to make it worth it. And so if anyone's passing this off as a $3 coin or a $5 coin or a $10 coin, you certainly do not want it. So I just want to let you know that's my thinking process when I looked into a lot of silver coins. And I have purchased large lots of silver coins, and I have purchased lots of coins where you couldn't see everything that was in it. either because things were hidden or just because it wasn't a very good picture. I researched what I could, and sometimes I got some pretty nice coins, but the lot that I was looking at today is not going to be a good lot. So I hope you found this educational. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and tell me what you if you want to see more coin videos like this with the silver coins. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.